let's just come together. Go ahead and close your eyes if you choose to. Do any adjustments that you may need to make to be in that space and place of meditation. And go to whatever it is that helps you be in that space of stillness, that place of calm, that place of quiet. And notice how the different parts of your body begin to relax and let go of any tension that may be there, even though you just got up. Maybe it's tension left over from yesterday, or maybe you slept wrong. But just release and let go of that tension in your body. And today's word is clarity. And so if you choose to, go ahead and focus on the word clarity, or go back to the I am that touches your heart in a deeper vibration. in recognition of the one God, the one power, the creator that resides deep within each and every one of us as life, as love, as light. We come together today in the two or more to practice, to grow, to expand, and to explore the word clarity and the meaning that it has within our lives and the lives of others. And we know that this word of clarity was indeed part of who Jesus Christ was. The clarity to teach, the clarity to give, the clarity to know the power of the divine. And so we are grateful for this time that we share, grateful for the words on the page that flow with ease and grace from our conscious and subconscious mind, knowing that it gives us a key and a knowledge about ourselves to a greater degree. And so I give thanks for each individual here. I give thanks for the clarity in our lives. I give thanks that God is all there is. And so I return this to the universe, knowing it is completed. And we say together, and so it is. Amen. Well, good morning, everyone. The word is clarity. And Terry, give us the definition. I'm just kind of going across the screen here. Terry, give us the definition.
The quality of being coherent and intelligible, the quality of transparency or purity, from the Google Dictionary.
Amy, how about the quote?
When you quiet your mind, you can enter a world of clarity, peace, and understanding. Alice Coltrane.
Michael, how about the Bible?
First Thessalonians 5:21. But test everything. Hold fast to what is good.
And our affirmation this morning is I open my mind to experience divine clarity. Interestingly enough, it was not like integrity. It was not easy to find a story or a writing about clarity. So I turned to the internet, and this was a story that I found. This is the story of two equally clear and determined minds. He is 7 years old and I am 47. We both are clear about our needs. He often comes to me with other clear needs and leaves giving me a clear message. We normally don't get into any clash. Last week during campus care, we happened to bump into each other. We were in the same team. He was cleaning the toys while I was arranging the library books. The story began when he ignored the work and chose to just sit and chat around during campus care timings. I watched for 2 days, and the third day I shared my observation to him. He agreed, but his actions did not change. On the fourth day, I clarified, are we working together in the library to arrange books? He promised me again that now he will work, but this time I was clear. He said to me, you don't listen to me. I said, I have been listening, but in this case, I will not listen. He started crying and screaming, you can't do this to me. I said, at this time, I can only talk about the work. He said, I said, he cried, I said, he said. If anyone would have heard us talking during this time, wouldn't have believed that he had 40 years difference of age. He was clear what he wanted to express to me. I was clear what I wanted. He didn't think that I was 40 years older and needed just to obey me. I didn't think that he was 40 years younger than me to sympathize because he is a child, small child. Let me do your work or you go to play, and so on. And while we were talking in between, he was crying, you can't do this to me. And then his hands started working. Then he started arranging books by size. And then he started sharing jokes with me. And then he said to me, we can't leave the work in half. As we were moving out of the library, he hugged me and said, I was upset with you, but when your hands started working, I enjoyed it. Now I have hooray with you for working with me. Later during the mentor meeting, I asked him, what kind of help do you need from me to add value to your learning journey? He said, after pondering, help me like you helped me to do the work in the library. I said, I will not want to do this all the time. He smiled and told me, but sometimes you can do that. Sometimes that makes people sad, but then you make them happy. We both were genuine with our expression at all the time during the conversation. We both were clear what we wanted to convey to each other. It was not at all about who was at fault, not doing work, or who was right, but it was all about both of us clearly expressing our needs, thoughts, emotions throughout our age boundaries, celebrating, living, and learning at the Aurora without boundaries. So, let's see. Go ahead, and today's beginning statement is, I find clarity when. Okay, everybody, bring it to a close. And who would like to share this morning? I hope this was a little bit easier than integrity.
I certainly seem to have a lot more to say. Not sure I'm done.
Terry, did you want to share? Did I see your hand go up or were you just adjusting?
I'll share.
Okay.
And I was just adjusting. So I find clarity when I let go and let God. I tend to be spontaneous, often with much research behind an idea. I read the book Shirley MacLaine wrote about the Camino. I was very clear when I read the book that I wanted to do this. 15 years later, a friend of mine, David, walked the Camino, and we had an extensive conversation about logistics and safety and whatnot. 10 years later, I walked the Camino and have done so twice more and hope to do it many more times. When my mind is confused, in fear, or just uncertain, I find if I get the facts and then simply let it go, all will be revealed in its own time. Many times others believe I make spur of the moment decisions. And sometimes I do. I follow my intuition, but many decisions have ruminated silently for weeks, months, or years before they are acted on. That's all.
Who else would like to share?
Spring,
Okay, go ahead.
I find clarity when I'm calm and relaxed, and most others are asleep. In my dreams and lucid dreams, I get answers to help guide me forward. When awake, nearly always when in or observing nature, or working outside or inside, doing dishes or some other rote work. When I'm focused on my breathing, when I listen to spirit, I get clear directions. When I clear the clutter from my life, letting go piece by piece of what no longer serves, pass it on to someone else, repurposing. In group work, example, adopt a highway. In nature, on a clear path, purging Highway 32 of litter, alone and in the group, spread out, having my own experience, but connected in clear direction and flow. Clearing the highway so others may better enjoy a clear view of as yet open fields heading upward, eastward. Clarity with my first cup of tea and the day of possibilities ahead of me, where I recognize a clearer path to see, hear, feel, and touch more deeply just by breathing deeply and enjoying a quiet moment of the infinite.
Thank you, Spring.
You're welcome.
Would anyone else like to share? Michael?
That's very interesting. The pin just started going. Okay, I find clarity when I don't necessarily expect it. Recently, I was in a moment of judgment, of believing the other person in the room, that was James, wasn't hearing me. Duh. I discovered if I shut up for a moment, took a breath, and waited for an opportunity, there might just be a chance. Well, sure enough, just a few moments, he turned to me and said, I was deep in my own thoughts and trying to figure out a problem I'd had during the day. What was it you wanted to say? So I gained greater clarity in that moment. Don't push it. That all is in perfect time and on time. When I clarify, I'm patient and I know.
Anyone else? I'm jealous.
This is
Barbara.
Barbara.
Go ahead.
All I have is audio today, but I would like to share.
You go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. I find clarity when I understand where a person is coming from. An example comes to mind when I have a conversation with friends or a friend who consistently communicate negative parts of life, including gossip. I may listen and even respond with positive comments. However, I need to keep reminding myself that some people have a need to stir the pot. I understand and simply will not succumb to that stirring of the pot, that type of behavior. I thank God for his help for me as well as the pot stirrers.
Thank you. Okay, maybe time for one more. Anybody else want to share?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
And I'm a reformed pot stirrer. I appreciate that. I
Okay.
find clarity when I ask for it. This doesn't mean I ask God and God clears the path to clear vision. I ask for clarity and the things that I have imposed show up more clearly. It's then my job to clear the way of all impediments that stand between myself and what I need to know. The impediments are always different, but the vision beyond the clutter is always the same. When the debris is removed by much emotional work and struggle, I'm left with knowing that I'm always at choice. I can choose to get my small self out of the way and allow myself to be divinely guided. The thoughts that obstruct my vision are typically the delusions that I know better than God.
Ah, interesting comment. Okay, I would encourage you too, that sometimes what I think of or what comes onto the page early in the morning stirs the pot for me throughout the whole entire day. And there's nothing wrong with returning to the journal and expanding what you have said or what you have written or exploring it verbally with someone. So today's practice is write and send a thank you note to someone. And, maybe it's somebody that you're grateful to that provided you with clarity at some point or some place in your life. Who would like to treat us or pray us out this morning? Oh, come on. Somebody's got to have courage to treat us out or pray us out.
I'll
Okay,
take a
Sandy.
turn.
Okay, Spring, there you go.
In the beautiful clarity that surrounds me, connected to the one spirit that surrounds us all, through which we all walk and see and have our life, I accept the guidance that comes when I clear a path by listening to spirit so that I may see and touch and feel and hear and act more clearly with my divine spirit. I recognize this divine spirit in others when I am calm enough to listen to spirit through those others, allowing what no longer serves to fall between us and repurpose our moments together, all those infinite possibilities of seeing all of our paths clearly forward with clear direction, seeing through any obstacles, all the debris, the beauty of the morning, the sun, the water, the air. I accept this with great gratitude. I release that and all that no longer serves into the infinite universe. And I let it be so that I can go forward. This one day, this one moment, this one breath. And so it is.
And so it is. All right, tomorrow you're on your own, everybody, and the word tomorrow is blessings. And so we will see you on Monday morning. And I believe, Amy, you're the one that's giving us the lesson that morning or the reading that morning. All right, everybody, have a great weekend and join me on Sunday morning for human kindness. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.